What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of the Comeback Couples Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jennison, with
Kendra Jennison.
And dang, you are looking pretty in these clothes you got on today. You got dressed up today.
What's funny about that statement is I'm just wearing regular clothes, but because
So what
I'm
are not regular clothes?
because I'm not in gym clothes, you're like, wow, you dressed up today.
Gym rat.
Every day. And even more so now, summertime, gym ready.
You got to stay gym ready all day, right?
I'm kind of upset. Like, what am I have to go home and change now after this immediately.
Well, you actually have to go get the girls, and you do have to change because you got to go to soccer practice.
Soccer coach.
Multiple soccer practices.
No big deal.
You should get a minivan.
Absolutely not.
Why?
I just I don't need one.
You could be a soccer mom with a minivan.
I'm a soccer mom with what kind of car do I have?
Denali.
Denali.
Spoiled ass. Anyways, all right. Listen, today's topic, it's due to the fact that it's about 100 degrees inside here and I'm sweating. I could use a sponsor by Speed Stick or Degree or whatever type of Old Spice or something. But no, today's topic is the Promiseland. And so I'm going to talk about something, or we're going to talk about just kind of the current state of our life, where we're at, different opportunities, what it took to get here. I know recently I've had a lot of messages from women that said, hey, are you going to open up I'm a Comeback for women pretty soon? Or do you have anything like that? We found you through this and this and this. Like the word is starting to travel. And, you know, I say yes, but I don't know because I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Like I know clearly what I want to do. I know clearly what's happening. We know where we're going. You look at these things, but what happens is like fucking opportunities are everywhere for us. Right. And the reason that I'm bringing that up today is because on the journey that we've been on to get here over the past, I want to break it down over the past, we've been married for 4 years, together for 5, right? We've touched base on like what we've been through and how we got here, like financially. And I want to stay on that thing, but like I've been at this game a lot longer than the 5 years we've been together.
Yep.
I've been after this Promised Land inside of my mind, inside of my head, in my journals, in my goals, in my notebooks, that only I've been able to see. I think you can see it now.
Yep.
Right? But like the countless hours of pain, struggle, failure, even through the time that I was drinking, right? I've been fucking fighting for this life for 3 years. And it's really hit me recently about we're coming off of we're in the backside of peace. Right? What I mean by that is we're in a place in our life right now where there's peace here. Today I've walked my field 8 times. I took my one-on-one coaching calls outside. I didn't have my shirt on. I've worked out fucking 3 times. Right? I'm down here. I'm sweating my ass off. I'm doing a podcast, going to get the kids. Like I've got this life. It's like, yo, I got all this opportunity to do all these things that I want, or I've created this thing. And here it sits, and inside of this peace and this prosperity and this power that I have in my life and that you have in your life, which you're really, really good at it, it's foreign as fuck to me. So I know that I could talk to the dudes that listen to me all the time and they could relate with it. But from a woman's perspective, what has it felt like being on this ride?
It's a unique question to ask me personally, because I feel like you are everybody's relationship, everybody's business relationship with their spouse is different, right? But ever since I met you, I Am a Comeback was completely and utterly all a part of my life. Like even when I didn't know what it was, you were just like, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what I need you to do. And I was like, don't know what that means, but you got it. Like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it with you. Right. And so during the entire thing, this entire process of building and growing and whatever, I feel, and I think maybe a lot of it's my personality too, it has been pretty even keel for me. And I mean like myself. Now with you, like having to deal with your ups and downs as they come and they go, and the seasons, because they do, I wouldn't say it's hard for me to deal with it or to like work through it with you, because I genuinely enjoy helping you. I enjoy talking things out with you. I enjoy watching you have your aha moments. I definitely do not enjoy the struggles of you, like, you know, the suicidal thoughts, the medical conditions that you have given yourself from work.
Like the sweating.
Sweats. But for the most part for me, because it is our life, it's been awesome. I can't say, even through the ups and the downs.
Has it been scary?
I've never been scared.
Because that's a conversation that we walk every night for you guys listening. Like, even in the winter, we bundle up after dinner. I mean, I guess not when it's super, super cold. I don't want to lie, but like, when it's 28 and above, which still sucks, we go out, we walk hand in hand up and down the road, holding hands, talking about life. And one of the topics in the conversations that we had was like scary. Building a company, right? Like, remember, people say, "Oh, it's the fucking hardest thing you've done." It like these people have this push this entrepreneur mindset of like, "Oh, it's so difficult running a company. It's so fucking hard. It's going to be the hardest thing you ever done." But that's not true for me.
And I think the reason I can say that it's not ever been scary, or I've never worried, or I've never stressed about, like, especially even in times where you've made like massive financial investments into things, and you ask me and you're like, "What do you think about this?" And I have always had complete and utter trust in every decision, every risk, everything that you've done. That to me, I'm just like, if it works, I know that it's going to be fucking awesome. And if it doesn't work, I know you well enough that it's like, okay, back to the drawing board. This is what we got to do. I've never worried about it. I've never been like stressed at night. I've never fallen asleep not wondering if I'm going to have money to buy groceries, or if my kid, like, I've never worried about it. And I know that is not the case for a lot of people. But ever since I've met you, you have been like extremely steadfast in who you are. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get it done. You've been a man of your word. And I have never once had to question or worry one time. So I feel very fortunate for that. But I've never been scared.
You know what's scarier for me? Freedom and peace.
Watching you try to navigate through having freedom and peace
topic that I want
is
to
hilarious.
Talk about today, right?
Yeah.
Talk about what that's like living with me right now.
It's
like, I don't know what to do with myself right now in this season, because it's not, in the face of simplicity, I tend to add complexity to my life, right? And
100%.
Like, I need to make it harder. We just went through a season where we've cut a bunch of people out of my life, focus back in on what I love, tune back into the gym. Summer's coming. Kids are good. You're good. All things that I've wanted, that I write down and journal about and think about every day, shows up, and here it is. And I'm like, fuck, this is not.
Yeah, so conversation that we have had multiple times during like our after dinner walks, and because you do now have this massive peace and things are running so smoothly and it's freedom, and you're like, holy cow, what do I do with my hands? You know what I mean? And so it's
Ricky Bobby.
We've gotten to a place now where I'm just basically reminding you. I mean, things that you already know, but I just voice it out loud, that it's like, hey, remember when things were running smoothly 3 years ago and you thought that it needed to be harder, and so I'm missing something, and then you go and you like mess with a whole bunch of things because it needs to be complicated. It's supposed to be harder than this, only to find out that when you go and you do mess things up, or you do mess with things that, oh wait, that's not right either, only to find out that the simplicity that you had at the very beginning, when things were running smoothly and things were going just how they're supposed to, is exactly how it's supposed to be. And that's the season that you're in right now. Things are going, you have fixed so many things in such a short amount of time, and things are going so smoothly, and everybody's happy. The culture at I'm a Comeback is freaking awesome, and everybody knows what they're supposed to do and how it's supposed to go. Maybe tweaking
everybody except for me.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm reminding you that this is how it's supposed to be. Like, it is you have worked your tail off 24 hours a day, 3, 6, 5, 7 days a week, that I've watched you work and grind and never give up on things. And I'm just constantly reminding you, like, this is how it's supposed to be. Go walk your field and take your calls. If you want to go pick up the kids today, hey, guess what? You worked your butt off. You can go do that, you know? But it is interesting having you be like, okay, things are working so well. Things are working how they're supposed to. What do I do? What do I do? Because you don't have anything to fix. Everything is working.
And because I'm a driver.
And because you're a driver.
I want to drive. I've got massive lofty goals. So Brandon Kaylin Poulin, Lady Boss, Brandon sent me a message last night, and there was something important in there. He talked about a lot of like work stuff, but the biggest piece was, because I asked him, like, how big should I make this thing? Because that's the question I'm at right now. Right? Like, this is good. The results are good. The men are good. The team, Ryan is good. Kevin is good. Corey is good. Your sister is good. Dave is good. Johnny's good. Steve is good. Everyone in the place in the team is fucking good. Probably even at the point where great. I mean, Ryan over here said this is like the best he's felt yesterday, right?
So good.
Not only do I need to protect my space, I got to help protect their space.
Sure.
And because I'm so fucking driven, I can lead us right off a damn cliff sometimes because like, blood and guts, fucking General Patton. I'm just going all in on the war, right?
Well, yeah, I think you've done that a couple times already.
Yeah. And the war doesn't even really exist, but I have to go create it.
And that's another interesting thing that you do. Everything is so much worse in your head. Like you are just take everything to like 10x level in your head where you're like, things aren't working. I got to fix this. And I'm just like, have you tuned into reality a little bit, honey? Because everything is just fine. Like you create this battle in your head.
When things are not going well, or when things are going well, in simplicity, I add complexity. And I realize the complexity for me is I've added a lot of people to team, but I want to go back to what Brandon said. He goes, dude, I think you're in a place of peace, which is a great place to make a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
It's better to make decisions in this place.
100%.
And he's like, in my opinion to you is like, you just go for it. Like what else you got to lose? Like just go for it. And then he said, the most important piece, you don't have to ruin your lifestyle going all in. Yeah. Like your lifestyle doesn't have to, and that's something that I fucked up because I'm after this promised land. I asked you and I'll ask you again to kind of talk about it. I said, what is our promised land? And what was your answer?
It was off-grid paradise, fruitful trees,
right.
Surfing.
That was it, right?
Yeah.
So that was the promised land.
Yeah.
Off-grid, fruit trees, on an island, warm weather, I think was kind of what it was.
Basically.
And I said, yeah, I get that, right? But like, what do we do? And then your list was have sex, surf, eat, yoga, workout,
fish, explore, travel,
listen to music, dance.
Yeah.
And then I said, so basically freebirds, hippies, right? Hippies essentially.
Yeah.
And then, but the answer to me after you said that was like, yo, dude, you already have this.
Yeah.
Like there's like the next stage for us straight up is like how we travel to get where we want to get there.
Yeah.
My biggest flex, your biggest flex, I think my team's biggest flex that we put together is we truly serve. We're like servant leaders. Everybody inside here wants to truly help the people. We don't do it for the ego and the fame and the money, although the byproduct of working super hard brings fame, notoriety, and money.
100%.
Right? And in that reciprocated energy in that field that we live in, this life is great. But I wanted to talk about the promised land for the guys out there because this is like where I'm at right now. There's not a man that comes through my program who doesn't want to get right here.
Yeah.
And where I fucked this up before was like, because we had it in 19 and 20 and it was like dump it. I had small-minded people around me.
Yep.
Who I have such big think. They were like collapsing my thought. I allowed them to infiltrate my thought, which fucked me up. But it made this dichotomy of this weird energy because like, here I am, this big, massive thinker, and I know I have all these goals. I know what I want to accomplish. I know where I'm going. But these people I trust, like, and believe in, who believe in me, or they're seemingly saying believe in me, there's a collision in my mindset. And all of a sudden, like, I start taking things apart.
Yeah.
And the piece that I had went away because I started chasing and rebuilding shit that didn't need to be rebuilt. So now we're at this place right now, and I say, like, what is the promised land? And we're here, man. I've been building this thing for fucking years. And the message that I have and why I think it's important for the guys that are listening right now or the women that are listening right now is that, like, sometimes I think you have it and it's not a money thing. You could have it at home, but you overlook it in the quest for always wanting more.
Which is sometimes you asked me earlier, like, have I ever been scared? And I guess through security and through love and through loyalty and all those things, that, like, with us personally, I've never been scared. But one thing that scares me for you is that right there. Like, I know you so well, and I know that everything you can always do better, and there's always more, and there's always something else. And I often get scared for you that nothing is ever going to be enough until you can learn. And I've said it, I mean, I say it all the time to you, even just in like conversation, like, where you have everything right now. It's awesome, Mark. You need to live your life. And I don't mean that we don't live our life, because we live our life how we live our life. But I mean, you need to go do. You need to go experience. You need to, all these things that you want to do, go do it right now. Because you're always going to tell yourself, and okay, well, I gotta get to here. I want to get to here, and then I will start living my life. Or I want to get this before I start traveling here. I want to, and it's just that game that you play, because there's always more and there's always something better before you want to do something. So I do get scared for that for you. But I do feel like we do a pretty good job, or I do a pretty good job as your wife, because I know that of you, making sure that we take the time. It's like, hey, we can do anything right now.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a big driver for me.
Mm-hmm. I know that it is.
Because I don't know. So for me, it doesn't make sense to not fully maximize my days.
And I know that of you too.
And what I'm learning, though, is that maximization of a day does not look like the same obsessiveness it took to get my concept, idea, belief, and life off the ground.
Sure.
I'm having to learn that and also half the shit that I know and people I watch in different styles of business, like nobody's ever built my business. Nobody's ever done what I've done. Mm-mm. Even if there's something similar, it's still not me. My business can be my life, my business, my people, my relationship can be whatever the fuck I want it to be. And I try to sometimes fit it in these boxes.
Right.
Right? Like I try to fit in these boxes that, it needs to be this way. Guys need to be in the office from this hour to this hour to this hour. This needs to happen this way, this way. I can't go to this trip because if I leave, then Ryan's going to be alone over there and Steve's not going to do his job. Like, not because they're bad, but like they need me here. Like you start telling yourself all these fucking stories, and the reality is probably holding back. And that quest for more is always going to be there.
And it's such a delicate dance because I never want to take that away from you or feel like
I will die.
You would die. And I know that of you. And I don't ever, and that's why, and what I mean by delicate is I want you to always have that because I know that's who you are. I know that's what's given us an amazing life. So I don't ever want it to sound like I don't want you to like just chill, slow down, because I would never tell you that. But at the same time, I want you to know that so many of the things that you are on like this quest for, you have.
Sure.
So just to be like, hey, look, it's already in front of you. A lot of it, you know.
Like I was telling you last night, you know, one of the things I want to do is get or this morning maybe it was, get the money thing over with, mm-hmm. right? Like every man has a vision of how much money they want, need, desire.
For sure.
Most won't talk about it because they're just afraid to fucking admit how much they truly want. It's just the truth, right? I will, right? For me, for sure. I want $100 million. Mm-hmm. I'll make more, but I want that number. Like that's like the real number that excites me every day. And when I get to that place, like, and that's just building in my life, like through all my assets, through everything I have, building a 9-figure net worth is a 9-figure goal. It excites me every fucking day.
Yep.
On the path, I'm helping people. I'm doing other deals and shit like that. But once I get there, I will realize that because I have friends that done it, that like, yo, you still got to know how to live.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't want to be some old dude that I'm so rich that all I have is my money.
Exactly.
You know, Bob Marley, what's a rich man?
I don't have those types of riches.
I don't have those type of rich. Well, I want those type of riches. Plus, I want that type of freedom because to me, that's what freedom looks like. And that's an interesting concept. Right? And that's something I want to touch base on. Like, I've got the wife, I've got the kids, I've got multiple houses, I've got cars, could have what we want. I've got great team, great people. And when I get there, there's still more.
Yeah.
Right. But there'll always be more.
There will always be more.
Always be more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how I choose to live. And Garrett asked me a question that I asked to my Alliance guys here this past week, which was, how bored are you willing to be? That's what he asked me, right? Yeah. How bored are you willing to be? Because in the face of simplicity, you tend to add complexity. And when you do that, that means you're not bored anymore. So the truth is, and this was my takeaway from it. He asked me that. And I said, yeah, I do. In the face of simplicity, I add complexity. How bored am I willing to be? Boredom is actually bullshit because that's the truth, I believe. And that's the truth that you need to take your life back from alcohol because time on your hands can get you fucked up. So what got me here in the original, you know, the first 2, 3, 4 years of building my comeback is not going to be the same way I'm going to live my life. So I can't, although I say boredom is bullshit, I'm stepping into a place where boredom actually doesn't mean boredom. Boredom means happiness. So if I'm going to ask myself how bored am I willing to be, I actually need to ask a different question that underlines this thing, says how happy do I fucking want to be? And then how big do I want to go? Because I will still maximize. And then at that point, it created a place of freedom. See, I've got the money, I've got cars, I've got success, I've got life, I've got everything that I want in my life, but I didn't feel free.
Yeah.
I didn't feel free. And then now my life is divinely back connected with with God, with the things that I stand for, with my company, with you, with everything else. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm in a really good place and I'm operating great in this backside of the piece of this pain that I just came from. Damn, I get to be clear. I get to be happy. I get to have it all. And I find some freedom there. So the Promised Land, I think why I wanted to talk about it with you is because for you, it's never been things.
It's never been things.
And I think so many people like to try to go after things. And don't get it twisted. Like fucking go get everything. Cause that's what I'm doing.
You want it, go and get it.
Right?
Yep.
I think the self-mastery of being able to have it all, but still be fucking alive is something that many people or very few people actually figure out how to do. And I'm learning right here.
You are learning for sure.
I'll be 43 in 30 days. And I feel like a fucking baby, like learning how to live this way.
Yeah. It's exciting though for you.
Yeah, it's exciting. So I guess I want to give some tactical shit because I think that's something that we do good. I know we've got to go pick up the kids here, so it'll be a little shorter of an episode. But advice for a woman who has a husband that wants to be a driver and seemingly is always living in this place of divine discontentment. They've got a good life, but it's not the life that he truly knows he sees in his life. And that sometimes creates collisions in the home, right?
Sure.
We don't have collisions, but I have my own collisions with myself, right? And there's an energy and stuff that's difficult. How does a woman aid and support somebody that's going through that? Or I mean, I know how you did it for me, but share it with them because that's what they like to hear.
I don't know if I could answer all of that in like one foul swoop, but for me, I'm not sure how to answer that. It was just so seamless.
Well, I can help you because maybe it's easier this way because of like, I'm the one that was living it. It was the reassurance.
Maybe.
And I don't need reassurance.
I guess. Okay. So now that I had a little bit of time to think about it before, as you were just going there, I never slow. The biggest thing is I would never try to slow your husband down. Like have been uniquely gifted that gift of being a driver and wanting more. And, I would never try and take that away from you. As a wife should never try and take that away from her husband. It's really important that you brought me along with you on that journey. Like, hey, this is where we're going. And I know we have talked about like future casting so many times before, but that's like imperative, and it's really important that, as a wife, who you are and what you want. I feel like it's so easy for me to keep the peace and to keep that, and to reassure you and to give you everything you need because I know and I love exactly who I am. Sure. And I know it's a rarity for a lot of women, and especially as you're like
a lot of people,
and especially as, we're navigating through life and we do have massive success. And I'm talking about financially and I'm talking about relationship and I'm talking, but a lot of people can get lost in that and they're trying to figure out who they are, which you should. I just think that for me personally, it was so easy for me to reassure you and to love you and to guide you and to give you what you need because I'm sure of who I am, and that wasn't something I ever thought about or worked through until I had met you, thankfully. And I think that's a really big part of it too. Never slow you down, but you also need to be
good with yourself.
Good with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing, right? Like you've done a lot of work on yourself, whether it was just by watching and then learning or actually reading books. And I know you don't like the same type of books as I do, but yeah. But I share a lot of that stuff with you. But I would say the biggest thing for a dude is when you get up every day and you get to go face a marketplace and an uncertain world, especially in a place where like I'm not the most loved. White dudes who are successful are not the most loved people right now. They're just not, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get up every day and you're trying to build something, you're always on the lookout. I'm always in a place of I'm on offense all the time. Like literally when I'm going into stores or just in life, there's this energy that I feel I have to carry all the time. And then when I get home, when things aren't going the way that I want them to go or as fast as I want them to go, which is typically the way, it's not that they're not going the way that I want them to go. It's just that they're not going fast enough and you can't control the way they go because sometimes shit gets all over the place. But the constant ability to have reassurance from somebody you love and appreciate, especially for a guy like me who never really had a mom and a dad who really reassured them or anybody, because I've always been the reassurance for everybody else. Just knowing like, hey, yo, whatever you do, and it's not that I need reassurance in my thoughts, but it's more like reassurance in you. Like, whatever you do, you got, bro. We're good.
I got you back.
We got this. Like,
Yeah.
we're at the promised land, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, here we are.
I think that's so important to hear that from somebody you love, you know, even though you may not need to hear it from me. Like, I know you don't need.
It's different than validation.
It is. And
It's
everything that we do is a team effort. Even I am a comeback in building, and it's, hey, I got you no matter what, you know, and there's just something so simple and endearing in hearing that from somebody that you truly love and want to build in life with that. I mean, I love that we do that for each other.
And I think for guys out there, right, that are on this quest to build some big shit and do some big shit, is just fucking stay the course, man.
Stay the course.
Like in the season of peace, because I'll be in another season of pain at some point.
Yep.
It's going to happen, right? It just the ebbs and flows of life and just the way that things happen. I don't have to make it as painful as it was, because I tend to do that. But just life's going to hit up and downs, and you know, things I can control, things I can't control, decisions I make, decisions I don't make, things are going to happen. But I can always constantly remember that for me, the promised land is a state of mind. And the state of mind is being able to be good with who I am, which has been the hardest thing for me to learn. Not like right now.
Yeah.
Just being connected to the earth, connected to you, connected to the business, connected, like all these things, just fucking being and protecting that space that I exist in. So that's it. That's all I got for today.
I loved it. That was great.
That was a fun one for you?
It's nice.
Awesome. Well, that's it for today's episode, or this week's episode. We'll see y'all next week.